Hey folks, it's Rich Mac here, and welcome back to leg number 54 of our Around the World journey. We are in Port Harcourt, I believe we're in Nigeria, and we are headed southeast today to Douala in Cameroon. How about that? We're moving along. We are really moving along now. Real quick, it is Africa, which means that it always thunders and lightnings. Lightnings? You don't say it in plural. Thunder and lightning? Thunders and lightnings? Thunder and lightning? Yeah, English can be difficult sometimes. Just real quick, I was just taking a gander around here. We have really minimal winds, so I'm just going to go down the other runway here, which is closer to me, and we're going to take off here real quick. One little tricky thing I have done today, I have made my mouse cursor visible. I'm going to do maybe do that permanently. We'll see if it's annoying or not. You guys can let me know if it's annoying or not, or if it helps out. There's actually a big reason why I did this for this flight. So we'll see how that pans out. I'll get to that in a few minutes. Let's get moving though, because that's what we like to do, right? So let's get flying here. See if I remember how to do this. Become so insensitive to running people over, I just don't care anymore. More concerned about yellow van and white airplane than I am about these poor guys working on the ramp here. Sorry, guys. I'm just a big jerk. Let's get down here. I have to taxi out on the runway. Gotta figure out where in the heck I'm going, first of all. Actually, no, I don't think I have to taxi out the runway. I got a taxiway here. Hang on, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat. Does that go all the way down? Oh my. Where does it end down there? That goes all the way down. I should have looked at the. First of all, it would really help if I straighten the plane out. Fly the plane first, or in this case, drive the plane first. Push that button because that was annoying. So now you can see all the crazy things I'm doing with the mouse here. There were a couple things I wanted to point out in the last flight, and I couldn't figure out how to capture the mouse in the video, and then I realized it was actually it was a little deeper than just the basic settings at OBS. So pretty standard fare here. I'm expecting thunderstorms all the way down. Of course, as we get to Douala, I'm sure they're going to be blinding thunderstorms there because that's how everything works out. Landing in Port Harcourt here was a nightmare. Very nice flight all the way in, and as soon as I got here, thunderstorm. Couldn't see a thing. Which certainly made it interesting. I can't deny that. Get our lights on. So we're heading out to the runway here. And take off flaps. A quick peek. Make sure nobody is on said runway. And away we go. Positive rate and gear up. This time I remember to pull back on the throttle. Trim up a little bit. And flaps up. And autopilot set. And we are set to climb up to 3,000 feet. Making sure that we are climbing, and we are. Landing and taxi lights off. I'm not going to need those as I just hit the microphone boom. And let's go outside here real quick. There's some showers in the distance. Where's my plane? Where are we? There we are. No, what you could not see on the way into Port Harcourt is there's not a lot around Port Harcourt. The airport's kind of up there in the jungle by itself. Now, here is why I wanted to show you the mouse cursor, because there's a new toy that I have in the sim. You go up to the menu bar and you notice to the left this new Navigraph Charts tab. I can now open my Navigraph charts in the sim. How about that? Fancy, huh? So, typically, well, not typically, I have a 3-monitor setup here, and typically what I do is I have Navigraph charts set up in a 3rd monitor. And the other monitor, I explode out my my main flight control panels, so I can see those on the other monitor. Now I don't think I have to do that anymore. Now I can just pop open Navigraph charts here, and I can see it, and you can see it along with me. So we just left Port Harcourt. Didn't need that. What am I doing? I had the chart open for the airport there. Blah blah blah. Main concern is just going into Douala. Got my approach plate there. Won't need that for a while, so I'm not going to worry. I could follow along in the sim to see where I am. Enable moving maps, except that I get an error. Could not connect to the simulator. Don't know why it does that to me. Doesn't want to connect me. Just doesn't like me. So I got to figure out why it does that. But yeah, anyhow, that is my new little toy. Other than that, it's all basic. And that came, that was a download. It's actually a beta right now from Navigraph. Screenshot. Oh. So yeah, let me go back here real quick. So as you can see, just a real quick, here is where we are. In this corner of Africa down here, where it kind of wraps around, I call it the Atlantic, but it's the Gulf of something. I don't even know what it is anymore. I've seen it 1,000 times, and right now I'm blanking. So yeah, we're just going to go generally in a southeast line, right down to Douala. Going to be pretty simple, pretty direct. I think we'll actually go a little north of the airport, come back around, make right turns in. So there you have it. My new toy. So yeah, if the cursor gets annoying, let me know. I can always get rid of the cursor. Fairly easy. Extremely easy. And it won't bother me at all. Sometimes I've noticed, I've noticed that sometimes I want to point things out, and it's kind of difficult to without a cursor. So now it's there. And they can watch me frantically flip the cursor around the screen as I try to do what I want to try to do. So like the last flight, and I don't think anything's going to be different now. As you can see, it's pretty blue skies up above. We just we left some thunder and lightning in Port Harcourt. And in the distance, I see a line of clouds, which tells me that we'll probably hit a line of thunderstorms as we want to land in Douala. I really believe it's a conspiracy against me now. And I can't say for certain, but I do believe that I think we're going to be leaving the flatlands behind us today. I think we're going to get a little more bumpier terrain as we head in towards Douala. This is just a giant coastal plain we've been following for quite some time. We're not going to be following the coastal plain for much, much longer, and I'll get into that next flight. Oh yeah, so this flight's going to be about 194 miles. So not long. Just a tad over typical flight. I'm going to go silent for a few minutes, just enjoy the sound of the thunder. Again, it probably would have been a better idea to fly around this little cloud. But that wouldn't be any fun. Screenshot. Kind of a cool screenshot there. Clouds, greenery. So yeah, as we head into Douala, there should be some good-sized mountains. I don't know if we're going to be able to see them now with all the clouds and thunderstorms, but we'll find out. You know, the miles I have for the legs of these flights, I got when I originally made the flight plan, path, whatever you want to call it. When I planned out the whole trip, it was so archaic. I literally just went on Google Maps with a measuring tool and just started going from airport to airport. I would go from town to town, and I'd literally look in the satellite imagery to see if it had an airport. And if it did, I'd hunt down what the ICAO code was, write it down, do the mileage with the measuring tool, and then go to the next airport. Just keep going from one to one. It took me probably I spent 4 or 5 hours probably planning this whole journey out. So I have 194 miles for this leg. But looking at the flight plan on the sorry, just looking at something. Looking at the flight plan in the computer here, it looks like it's not nearly that far. Jeez. Yow! Hang on, kids. If we don't live, we're going to die trying. That's a cool shot. I like that one, too. Look at that. So yeah, my next waypoint is Kokam, and it's 46 miles away. And from there, it looks like it's about another 31 miles to the airport. Yeah, so... Oh, no. Scratch that. It's 104 miles to Kokam. Why does it say 46 miles? Well, the flight plan in the Garmin says 46. Yeah, I don't know. Well, whatever. You know, these are more like cells I would think that would be producing a lot of thunder and lightning. Now, smart people would probably climb up and weave around these, but no. I say no to being smart. Alright, I'm not sure how much luck we're going to have seeing anything on this leg. It looks like everything's kind of starting to sock in with clouds, so I am going to see if I can climb up a little bit and we'll work our way around it. As soon as I do that, it clears up. Look at that. Although it's not permanent. We get that line ahead of it. So we'll climb up to, let's say 7,000. We'll climb up to 7,000 feet. We're passing through 3,700 feet right now. We're on our way up. Sorry, I just had to go in the aircraft to adjust the throttle. Just losing a little bit of airspeed on that climb, so bring the throttle back up. So the coastline should be just right over there in that area somewhere. But again, we can't see diddly. Hey! Actually, might be over more in that area right there. These are kind of, I think, estuaries. Well, there's a runway. Hello, runway. I'm honestly not sure what airport that is. I'll figure it out. In this area here, so Iran. We're not exactly following that flight path. We're kind of going up this way more. rainbow. Very nice. Woo. And we're climbing up through 6,800 feet, so we'll be leveling out in just a moment. I'm going to see something here. Not that we're that close, but okay, my menu back. I got to get used to this. I'm so used to having these already open and kind of out in front of me. So, all right, that Rhinap, that'll be the first waypoint we come to. We need to be a flight level 30 for that. So we'll hit Kilo Delta 504, make the right turn to Kilo Delta 506, and then right into runway 30. 504 will stay at 3,000 feet. 506 will have to descend to 2,000 feet. Pretty standard stuff right there. So I just got to remember 3,000 feet for Rhinap. One more thing out of curiosity. Just want to see if there are any elevations in the area there. In the vicinity of the airport, it does not appear that there are any elevations. No mountains. Alright, so we don't have to worry about going bumpity bump into something. Some really cool screenshots on this leg. Just, I'd forgotten to reduce the throttle after that climb, so I just wanted to pull back to 80%. More rainbows. It's just such a cool effect that they added to the game. Very cool effect. So, fun fact, Douala, where we're headed, is the largest city and economic capital of Cameroon. Got a population of 2.7 million. Big city. Big cities we're going to. By the way, I noticed that in the sim, if you click on a spot on a map, it'll give you the latitude and longitude. So Douala is 4 degrees north latitude. So it's we're getting very close to the equator now. Just a few hundred miles north of the equator. The cloud heights are climbing. Looks like they're coming up to meet me now. Getting them all the way up at 7,000. There's some clouds. Those ones up on the horizon there. They're way above me. Some big storms up there. Guess what? That's where we're headed. Although I think actually we're headed a little to the left of that, so should be fine. I'm doing a little Wikipedia research right now, and bear with me here. This chair was not a cheap chair, but man, it makes a lot of noise and drives me nuts. So we are also approaching a volcano, Mount Cameroon. It is going to be off to our right. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it with all the storms and all going on here. But it's looking now 13,255 feet high. So I will definitely have to keep an eye out on it. Apparently it's very active, has the most frequent eruptions of any West African volcano. How about that? The 4th most prominent peak in Africa. The most frequent eruption occurred on February 3rd of 2012. So, something to keep an eye on. There really should be... That actually may be it right there. That is it right there. kind of shrouded in all those clouds, but that's it behind everything. Mount Cameroon, so it rises another 7,000 feet above where I am. In fact, those clouds are probably, they probably go most of the way to the peak. Pretty impressive stuff. What I really could do, and this would be smart, is take a look at the star plate. Let's see. Open a charts list. I'm going to find the right one here. This is it. So COCAM at or above flight level 6,000. Well, at 6,000 feet, we're at 7,000 feet, so we're just good right there. We're fine. When we get to our box, it says we should be at flight level 30, so 3,000. So COCAM is where we're headed. Flight level says you should be at 6,000 feet. Going down to our box, 3,000 feet. So we're all good there. And we still have about 55 miles to go to COCAM. We were actually right in this area right here. If the clouds weren't there, you just see tributaries going down to the Gulf of Guinea. Got to remember that. I keep forgetting it. Gulf of Guinea. And COCAM, I think, is around the city of Kumba. Somewhere in that area. I'm only making a turn down. Shut that down. There it is, peeking out. $13,000 feet. Another thing with no visibility, I'm not going to mess with these altitudes too much because there are some elevations approaching us that we're going to cross over. So I definitely don't want to go below that 6,000 feet recommended at Kokan. Else we might just go bumpity bump into something. That would be a bad day right there. I gotta say, looking at the synthetic vision, doesn't look like there's anything in front of us, really. But don't want to take that chance. So icing is not going to be an issue. Even at 7,000 feet, the outside air temperature is 15 Celsius. One of the benefits of flying at the equator. It's hot. I don't know if there's another peak over there or if that's the peak right there. So another nice benefit of flying at higher altitude is you tend to go a little faster speed for less power. So right now I'm at 80% throttle. Let's see, now with the cursor I can show you too. It's showing only 136 knots airspeed, but that's because the pitot tube... Where's the pitot tube? All right, here we go. It's going to get loud. I honestly don't know where the pitot tube is on this aircraft. Let's see if we can find it here real quick. Is it out here? Oh, there it is, I think. I think that's it right there. Alright, so this little guy. Was basically measuring wind speed based upon the airflow through it. That's the pitot tube right there. Him. Okay. So, it's measuring how much air is flowing in and determining the airspeed. At a higher altitude, though, the air is not as dense. So since the air is thinner at a higher altitude, it shows as a lower airspeed. So it's showing 136, but really, if you look down here, the total airspeed is 153. I think we zip up to 154 knots occasionally. So that's really our ground speed. So that's what the pitot tube says, 136. But again, the higher altitude you go, the lower that number is going to read compared to your ground speed. Yeah. It's another reason why you make sure your pitot heat is on. You never want your pitot tube to freeze because you'll end up dying. Your aircraft won't be able to determine how fast you're going. Not going to really die, but you could very easily crash. It makes it very difficult for any instruments of the aircraft to determine what's going on when no airflow is going through the pitot tube. Oh, look there. Actually, no, I don't think that was the peak. It might go up. Ugh. It might be up there somewhere up on those higher clouds. Because look at the slope going up. Look at there. I'm afraid I have my mount. Oh, I don't have enough hands here. Let's go back. Alright. So yeah, that slope. It may be somewhere up in there is the peak. I don't know. It could just be over there, but there's some slope there. I'm saying a peak is somewhere in here. Volcanoes are cool. That's all I gotta say. I just don't want one in my backyard. So we have about 30 miles to go to Kokam. And there I'll descend down to 6,000 feet. Looks like there's a hill straight down below us. Some kind of smaller mountain type thing. Looks kind of evil down there. You can see the volcano clearly. And yeah, we're just going to go to Kokam, turn down. We're actually going to go to the north of the airport, kind of down here, and keep making right turns as we go in. No, I never did. Hang on, I'm an idiot. Almost looks like there's light coming from below and that crack in the clouds. Oh, speaking of light. And I want to be able to see the mountain, but it is kind of cool how the clouds all develop around it with the uplift and the orographic lift of the air. It's my big word of the day. As the air lifts up over the higher elevations, cools down with the condensation in the clouds. Alright. I'll set us to descend at about 500 feet per minute down to 6,000 feet. So we'll get down there in 2 minutes. We're 15 miles out from Kokam. Doesn't look like there's any significant elevations between here and there, so we'll be fine at 6,000 feet. And then at our box, we'll need to be down to 3,000. At or above 3,000. Max 230 knots. We're going to be just fine. And our next stop will be Rhinap. Our box will put us somewhere, I think, around this area right here. And then we'll come down to Rhinap, excuse me, and then just keep making right turns in. That will stay at flight level 3,000. Excuse me, not flight level 3,000. God, what would that be? It'd be very high at 3,000 feet. And we're beginning to level out now at 6,000 feet. We have 10 miles to go to Kokam. Do a little cloud surfing. Also, does not appear that we have any significant elevations between us and our box, so once we get to Kokam, I'll descend down to 3,000 feet. We'll do it like 300 feet a minute. That'll take 10 minutes. It's probably too slow, actually, but that's fine. I can always speed it up as we get closer to the waypoint. in my landing gear. Almost dropped the gear. Actually, I'll descend at 500 feet a minute. 3,000 feet, that'll be 6 minutes, so that'll be better. True cloud surfing right now. With lots of turbulence. And we're beginning our descent. Again, 500 feet a minute going down to 3,000 feet. We're descending through 5,900 feet right now. I don't think there's going to be a lot to see while we go through the clouds. I'm just going to go back inside here. That's interesting. No wind data. Okay. So really our box is at or above 3,000 feet, so we're fine. I'm not going to worry about that. We still need to be at 3,000 feet for the next waypoint past there, so we're just fine. Ooh, what did I do? Adjust my chair here. So yeah, I'm gonna actually change that to descend at 300 feet a minute. We're still gonna get a 3,000 feet before our box anyhow. And actually, when we get to our box, we'll be fairly close to the airport. And again, we're going to fly by it and come back around and land. What I'm going to do, since we're in the vicinity of the airport, get to lower altitudes, turn on my lights, especially with the sloppy weather. Cannot hurt. And I can hear the rain. Gonna be making that. Actually, we're making a turn right now. So we didn't quite make it to 3,000 feet, but we'll be there in a minute, literally. Actually, it looks like it's a 23-mile leg in the Rhinap, with just ugly weather again. Every time I want to land, it's just soup. Soup. Like flying at night in here. So, as you can see, I haven't really changed the throttle settings at all, but now that we're down to 3,000 feet, oh, of course it's going to dip down now. You jerk. It was just a second ago saying we were doing about 140 knots, but now it's dipped down to about 138 knots. Total airspeed 147. So as you go lower, the airspeed up here is going to rise, and this is going to drop a little because the air is more dense and it's picking up more air going into the pitot tube. But because of the dense air, you're actually slowing down in relation to the ground, which of course you're meeting a little resistance. It's a drag on the dense air. If I explain that well. And actually, I think this is the way it works, but I don't know for certain. So now we are getting wind data. As you can see, getting a tailwind of 8 knots. Pretty much a tailwind. So I think that tailwind blowing over the pitot tube actually lowers this number as well. If it was a headwind, you'd have more air being pushed into the pitot tube, which would raise that number. So that actually lowers this number and raises this number some. Because, of course, the tailwind's going to push us along in relation to the ground much faster. But in general, I believe the lower you get, the closer this number matches this number. The higher you get, this number is going to get lower, way lower than this number here. Not going to be able to see anything, but we're passing the airport right now, but it's a couple miles off that way. Actually, you can kind of see the ground, so not quite as soupy as I was fearing it to be. We'll be at Rhinap in about 10 miles. It's going to be a few minutes. Next waypoint will be Kilo Delta 504. And let's see again. I think it's 2,000 feet at that waypoint. Going out of the RNAV. Again, we're heading to Rhinap. We're in this vicinity. Coming down here to Rhinap. Oh, my mouse is all over. We're going to hit a Rhinap. We're going to make the right turn into Kilo Delta 504. And then a right turn. That'll put us on line with the runway as we turn right to 506. Put us right in. And a 504. Oh no, I'm sorry. 504, we still stay at 3,000 feet. And 506, well, we're at 2,000 feet. At that point, we will be 6.1 miles out from the runway. Oh. And as I land, coming in runway 30, just want to come in either Bravo or Echo right into the airport here on the right side. The long runway, 9,350 feet, so just short of a 2-mile runway. Plenty of runway to work with. Don't want to go too far up there in the military apron. Don't want to get shot. So again, if it's bad visibility, I want to depart the runway on the right side. Oh, one more thing, and this really something you're not going to see, but I'll see. And it won't really change anything, but I'm all excited about it. I ordered 2 new throttle levers for my Bravo quadrant on Etsy. Never thought I'd be shopping Etsy. But they look like this. They're designed to look like the DA62 throttle levers, so they're just kind of black cylinders as opposed to, I've got blue grippy things right now. I'm not even sure how to describe the shape. So yeah, something else I got. I'm all excited about. Don't need it, but thought it'd be kind of cool. And my trim wheel, I got a trim wheel cover. The trim wheel on the Bravo throttle quadrant is smooth, kind of like a commercial trim wheel, but like a commercial airliner. The one I got that was ribbed, and it'll fit over top of that, so it'll make it easier to adjust. You know, as you can see, these have like little ribs on them. I'm having way too much fun with my honeycomb peripherals. I'm going to be making that right turn any moment now. There we go. What was that? Sorry about that. Had another website open and someone posted to a forum and I just got a notification. Wasn't expecting that. Alright, so let's see here. In about 3.5 miles, we're going to be making a right turn in towards the runway. And we're going to want to descend down to 2,000 feet. should be turning momentarily. I think I'll descend at around 700 feet a minute. I'm going to have to cut back on a throttle too so I don't pick up too much speed on that descent. Here we go. And we're descending. And let me reduce the throttle here. Again, just don't want to pick up too much speed on this descent. Creaky chair. Super creaky chair. Descending down through a 2300. 3 miles to go to the waypoint. Again, at that point, we'll be about 6 miles out from the runway. I got it on my synthetic vision. We're all lined up and ready to go. And looks like we're starting to level up. I'm just going to give it a little more throttle. Leveling out at 2,000. Was kind of hoping that we would be under the weather, but we're not. And we're going to go take off flaps. Alright, my plane. Take it from here. Gear down. And hey, there we go. This is the best visibility I've had in quite some time. I can deal with this. Landing flaps. Trim it back up a little. Got a marker. Alright, so lights are on. Flaps are down, gears down. We're all good. All good. back on the throttle a little. A little. I think I might have gone a little too far back on the throttle. Just back up a little. All right. Say that was a success. Just gonna give it a tad bit of throttle so it'll stop on the runway here. Put gear or flaps up. So far, I haven't even applied any brake. And here's a turn off right here. I'd slow down a little now for a turn off. The first brake I applied since I landed. Okay. Landing and strobe lights are off. Make sure I got my flaps up. Where am I going? I'm not even sure where I'm going. I'm going to go over here to the right. So yeah, another murky landing, but yeah, much better visibility than the previous landings. I was able to actually line everything up and get a nice, easy, smooth landing. Well, these are like big gates here. I'm gonna look around real quick. And moving general aviation back over to the right. These guys don't want to see me. Oh, there's a little guy out there with him. So, I just figured it out, too. I'm an idiot. I try to make right turn, or sharper turns. I do have independent throttles here, so I could actually apply more throttle to one side than the other to help with my turns. Yeah. It's only like the 5th or 6th flight with the Bravo throttle quadrant. You think I'd have figured it out by now. Where do the little guys park? I'll go down here next to this guy. Come on. I've made this taxi way longer than it needs to be. Now let's go right here. Right here. Alright. There's this actually a gate. Well, whatever. Whatever. Alright, parking brake is on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. This was leg number 54, and I welcome you to Douala, Cameroon. Looks like the weather's clearing up already. beautiful. All right. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you back for the next leg.